Majuba. We pay homage, it's the Illa Juba. We seek the Great Spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you, my child, let me speak to your spirit. You warriors calling a little louder, I want you to hear it. Just face it, don't fear it. Your mirror reflection, revere it. Shadow work, you will clear it. Just the seasons will change. You are called to rise. Open your eyes, realize, rearrange. It's not a game, press past through your pain. We are not mediocre nor mundane. You are great now, claim your new name. Break free from the chains. I just want you to see through and see true. See yourself as all of the mind sees you. The God in you, manifest your breakthrough. Standing tall, seeing life from a bird's eye view. While manifesting your Odu. We keep it real, real life and reveal. It's all in me, my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill my destiny. Majuba, we pay homage, it's the Illa Juba. We seek the Great Spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you. Just the Illa Juba.
Abora boy, this is Oluofa Kolade of Idinka Ifa Temple. I want to welcome you to our Ifa Temple service, our Ile Juba service. Thank you for joining us. Before we even get into our process, I want to ask folks to please like and share this video. Is going to be very important for you and for many of us. So before we start with our temple service, let us begin with prayer. Ejogbe Alanu, the merciful one. Olori, the benefactor. Sugbemi, the supporter. Magbemiti, he who never fails to give support. Afilara, he who shakes off envy. Lo Sotoro, he who covers wealth. Eroko, the awo of the waterfront, is the one who gave birth to La Rogbe, the mother of Oyimbo. Alanu, the merciful one, is the name given to Ifa. Ifa, please show my family mercy. Olore, the benefactor, is the name given to Odu. Odu, please be benevolent to me and my relatives so that I can come and show my gratitude. Sugbemi, the supporter, is the name given to Eshu Odara. Eshu Odara, please give me and my family your support. Magbemiti, he who never fails to give support, is the name given to one's Ori. My Ori, please, 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 do not oppose me. Afilara, he who shakes off envy, is the name given to Shango. Shango, please protect us. Protect me day and night. Lo Sotoro, he who covers wealth, is the name given to Saapona. Oba Luaye, please do not let me see your wrath. Iroko, the awo of the waterfront, is the one who gave birth to La Rogbe, the mother of Oyibo. Please let all good things be in my life and in my friend's life. Please, nobody can know you. No one can know the names of the 8 of you for that person to suffer from lack of wealth, for that person to suffer from lack of a spouse or good children or any of the blessings of life. What you usually use to give all good things of life to a person, which makes them to be successful, go ahead and go and use that same thing to bring me my own Irea in life. Let me be very successful. May the word spoken today be accepted by Ifa, the Orisha, the Irumole, my ancestors, our Ori. I pray. I call on you, Olodumare. I call on the Irumole. I ask that you would support me, move my ego out of the way so that we can hear words of Ifa. Emma kami meni amo, Emma kami meni anu, Emma kami meni adeloku. Ìtààmú ẹ̀ torí Ifá lónìí ní ìbọ̀dá tí ń bani ní ẹni bànà mí àwọn àti Ifá lẹ́lẹ́jọ́. Ifá, please ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off all cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses in our fights from us. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, and all good things of life. Ifa, please let us hear words from Olodumare today. I call on you. I ask that you would continue to ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off all cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, outright fights, witchcraft, and negative energy from all of us. And bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory, healing, and all good things of life. We call on the Odu Oshe Arula, Oshe Tra, tiny of the fetal tubal, the stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to use its headgear. Had it been enough to use its headgear, I would have taken it home and adorned my hair with it. Easy 5 decorations to Arula. We're going on spiritual mission to Ejebule. We call on local being same permanent. Call salsa to make rich. Call on Oshe Arula. Oshe Arula as a gawo. Oshe Tra, Oshe Tra, Oshe Tra. Tiny of the fetal tubal, the stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to use its headgear. Had it been enough to use his headgear, I would have taken it home and adorned my hair with it. These are 5 decorations to Willa. I'm going on a spiritual mission to Jebelin. I'm going to Locust and Penman. Going to make rich. Going to roll out the spectre and the Jebelin. Oshir Wills look at a wall. Oshir Tura. I kick in Bagisa. The extract sharply against the tree. Casting fire for a room when he seek Iba. And I share from Olodumare. If in our world tells you you should be wealthy, you surely be wealthy. I kick in Bagisa, and the mouth of an was at Ziba Nashe, and the mouth of an hour. If no tells you have joy, you surely have joy. I kick in Bagisa, and the mouth of an was at Iba Nashe, and the mouth of an hour. If no tells you have victory, you surely have victory. I kick in Bagisa, and the mouth of an hour was at Iba Nashe, and the mouth of an hour. To Essing, maybe so, surely shall it be. Àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Bọ́bọ́ tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìrúmọlẹ̀ ó bà. Ifá ó bá o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Pé mọ́ tó rọ̀ tí mọ́ súrẹ́, bí mọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí mọ́ súrẹ́, bí mọ́ kúnlẹ̀ tí mọ́ súrẹ́. Timo joko, Timo shure, ire Timo su ori tibo. Ori eni larure eni o, ori eni larure eni. Mojulo bawa mori, ori eni larure eni. Ajo, bobore chazu, Ifá ó bá lọ́run. Àtìgbà tí a jù Ifá ó bá lọ́run. Ó ṣe àrò ìlà Ifá ti bọ́. Olodumare and the divinities, we ask that you will continue to ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, outright fights, ward off witchcraft and negative energy from us. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, peace of mind, joy, healing, victory, all the good things of life. Bring all those good things to us. Ifa, help us to hear from you today. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboato, Ifa o, Ifa, we thank you. We thank you so very much. Ashe. Thank you all once again for joining us. And I want to encourage everyone once again, please, please, please like and share, please. And give us a shout out in the comments as to where you are from. Although this message is pre-recorded, we will be shouting you out in spirit. So let's start. So today is going to be a very interesting sermon. Let's begin. We're going to confront a truth that many of us run from. So you can't step into your destiny without stepping out of your comfort zone. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels familiar. Comfort feels easy. Comfort feels warm. But comfort also is the graveyard of purpose. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort is the thing that traps potential, and it is the ceiling place for destiny at times. Ifa teaches us that what refuses to move cannot progress. You cannot elevate with old habits. You cannot transform while protecting your limitations. You cannot become who you were born to be while clinging to who you used to be. When we think of these powerful, powerful Ifa messages, I want to go into the Odu Ifa, Irete Otura. Ifa says, Ire in the front, happiness in the rear. These were Ifa's declarations to the mother of Olokoshe and also to the mother of Okin. Both of them were the wives of the Olofin. They were advised to offer Ebo in order to have successful children. Only Okin's mother complied. Ojuda Ojuro. They were the Awo Castifa for Okin, the younger sibling of Olokoshe. When Olokoshe was to send Okin on a very difficult mission, he was advised to offer Ebo, and he complied. It is very painful. It is quite regrettable. We have installed Okin as the Oba. One's mother is the architect of one's prosperity. Okin's mother offered Ebo, and Okin becomes prosperous. One's mother is indeed the architect of one's prosperity. Also, one's mother is the architect of one's wretchedness. Olokoshe's mother failed to offer Ebo, and Olokoshe became wretched. One's mother is indeed the architect of one's wretchedness. So let us analyze this story, and this is the story of two young men, both the son of the Oba. One was named Olokoshe, and the other was named Okin. Both of them were the heir apparent to the king. Both of them were of royal blood. It was just that Olokoshe was the first son, and he was also the child of the mother who was the first wife. And Okin's mother was the child, Okin was the child of the mother who was the second wife. So he was the second son, and he was the second son of the second wife. So he was not the favored person for being elevated to Oba in the event of the passing of their father. So what happened? Both Olokoshe and Okin's mother went for Ifa consultation. When they went for Ifa consultation, they both wanted to know if their sons would be successful. Ifa said, indeed, both boys will be very successful. The key is that you need to teach them discipline and make them aware of their sacred duty that they will eventually inherit. You need to groom them and have them in the best schools, give them chores, raise them to be people of service. And what ended up happening is Olokoshe's mother heard the message. But since she was the first wife of the king, and Olokoshe was the first son of the king, she knew by mathematics and by science that this son was indeed going to become the king when the king died. So what is the purpose for offering Ebo for something that you already know? This is what she thought. So she didn't even offer Ebo. Okin's mother, however, she took the advice of the Babalawo and she offered Ebo. And as she raised Okin, Okin had boundaries. He couldn't stay up late at night. When he woke up, he had chores to do. He had to milk the cows. He had to collect water for the community. When Okin woke up, he didn't wake up at 12 in the afternoon or 2 p.m. He woke up early in the morning. Sometimes he had to wake up at 4 to accomplish his chores. Sometimes he got a chance to sleep in and slept in until about 6 or 7 a.m. But Okin had to get up and get to it. Okin was also taught to be very respectful. He was a respectful child. And all of these things were very beneficial, as well as his mother had offered a bow for him. Now, Olukoshe, on the other hand, his mother raised him in a way that he was spoiled. She said, well, you know, you're going to be the king anyway, so just start lounging and be cool, because no one in this community can tell you anything. So she raised Olukoshe and allowed him to sleep in. He didn't have chores. Sometimes Olukoshe would wake up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But Olukoshe, he could do whatever he wanted. He was lazy. He was stubborn. He was even disrespectful to elders. He cursed people out. He did whatever he wanted. And then that fateful day that the Oba passes away, and the kingmakers, the chiefs in the community, they already knew who was the first choice, of course, to be the king. They called Olukoshe. They said to him, now, young man, we're going to come together and we're going to make you the king. You are the heir apparent and the rightful heir. You are of the bloodline. But what we need for you to do, you need to wake up very, very early in the morning. Matter of fact, you need to wake up like at 4 before the sun comes up, and you need to come to our designated location. You need to come into the grove, because when you leave this place, that is when you'll become king. We're going to give you something that will make you the king. So Olukoshe tried and tried and tried, but because of his lazy nature, he couldn't wake up. He couldn't get up early in the morning. He tried everything, but he was so lazy and stubborn, and he had been so fixated and embedded in the habits that he had grown accustomed to, he couldn't wake up at 4 a.m. So what he did is he calls his brother, Okin. He says, Okin, look, I need you to go into the forest at 4 a.m. You're going to meet with the chiefs and you're going to get what they have for me and you're going to bring it back to me. So Okin, before he attempted this mission, he went for Ifa consultation. And Ifa said, offer your Ebo, do the deed, wake up early, and get out there and get to it. You will be very, very surprised at what happens for you. This singular moment is going to be the most defining moment in your life. So they tell Okin this. He offers his Ebo, and the next day he's up at 4 a.m. He gets up, and as he gets to it, he goes into the grove, and those kingmakers, they look and they're saying, well, wait a minute. You actually are not the person that we had in mind. You are not Olokoshe, but you are a child of the king. So what they did is they deliberated and they thought, well, he's here. He is the second son of the king. He is indeed of the bloodline. The other one's not here. This is the new king. And that is how Okin became the new king of his community, because he was raised differently, because he was uncomfortable at times. What is this Ifa telling us? Well, essentially what Ifa is saying is that comfort at times puts you into a position of false security. That is the position of Olokoshe. Olokoshe was in a position of very false security. This comfort makes you think that all is well. It stops you from moving when it is necessary. The couch potato, that person is comfortable. This person will not move when necessary. They will not get the job they are often charged to get. They are often the freeloaders. Ejogbe says that we must toil and sweat in order to reap the dividend. Too much comfort makes one entitled. It is as if this person, Olokoshe, it is as if Olokoshe thinks that the world owes him something. The world owes the comfortable person something, but it doesn't. Such comfort is merely an illusion, and it often leads to stagnation. This leads me to the first point. Comfort creates spiritual paralysis. Some of us are blocked or not blocked by an enemy, but we're blocked by our own comfort. What do we mean? Comfort says, don't try. Comfort says, don't risk. Comfort says, don't grow. Comfort says, don't shine. And many of us obey that. Comfort protects your fear. Comfort protects your insecurity. Comfort protects your stagnation. But destiny requires movement. Let's take a look at Ejiogbe now. In this Ifa, Ejiogbe says, I tried in vain to hide myself, but my Ori does not allow me to hide myself. I tried walking in alleyways, but my Eda would not allow me to be walking in alleyways. This was Ifa cast for Ile, Mother Earth, when coming from earth to heaven, coming from heaven to earth, she was advised to offer elbow in order to prevent anything from being placed on top of her. She refused to comply, saying that everything was just fine the way it is. At that moment, the mat was placed on top of the earth. I tried in vain to hide myself, but my Ori does not allow me to hide myself. I tried walking in alleyways, but my Eda would not allow me to be walking in alleyways. This was Ifa cast for Esin Sin Tente, the housefly. When coming from heaven to earth, she was advised to offer elbow in order to ensure that nothing would be placed on top of her. She complied. She washed her legs, she washed her feet, and opened her mouth. And an Ifa song came out. She said, I have both my hands and my feet. I dine with the Oba. I have washed both my hands and my feet. I dine with the Oba. I die no more. When we think of this Ifa verse, what is the story? Essentially, the story of this verse is the story of Ile. And Ile was asked to offer a bow in order to ensure that nothing was placed on top of her head. She said, I'm good. And as at that moment, the mat was placed on top of the earth. The mat was then asked to offer a bow, so nothing would be placed on the mat. The mat says everything is fine the way it is. Then, as soon as the mat was placed down, the throne was placed on top of the mat. The throne was asked to offer a bow because in order to ensure that nothing would be placed on top of the throne. The throne said everything is fine just the way it is. Just then, the king was installed upon the throne. Then the king was asked, offer a bow in order to ensure that nothing would be placed upon your head, nothing would be placed on top of you. And the king said, I am the king. What do I need to do? I'm already on top of the world. And just as soon as the king said that, the crown was then placed on top of the king. Then the crown was asked to offer a bow. And the crown said, what more could I do? I sit on top of the king. I sit on top of the world. What can be placed on top of me? And at that moment, the feather was placed in the crown. And the feather was asked to offer a bow. And you know the story. The feather said everything was fine the way it is. And just then the fly came and landed on the feather. And the fly, was asked to offer a bow. And the fly, she offered a bow. And when she offered the bow, the fly landed on top of the feather, which was in the cap of the crown on top of the king. And then the fly flew down at the king's dinner table and started washing her hands in the king's drink and eating the king's food. The fly was able to mingle amongst all the dignitaries unscathed because the fly offered a bow. What is this saying? When you feel that you have arrived, when you feel that you made it, oftentimes that stops you from attempting to achieve something more. There's not a need to move further. This leads us to the second point. Obeying your destiny will cost you something. Elevation requires things. Elevation requires sacrifice. Elevation requires discipline. It requires courage. It requires decisions and movement. Comfort requires and demands nothing. Destiny demands everything. Your calling is bigger than your convenience. Your destiny is outside of the confines of your comfort, complacency, and your complaints. Sometimes the thing that you feel or the curses in your life are really the catalyst for pushing you towards your destiny. We won't reach our destiny doing the usual thing. Everyone does not achieve their destiny. The folk we think are our enemies sometimes are folks that God put in place to push us. When you get to the point where you ask, Olodumare, what are you doing to me? Why are you allowing me to go through this? You must realize that you are being broken only to get built better. During that challenging time, you must rely on Olodumare in order to learn what to rely upon. Ifa says in Oshemeji, the poverty of a diviner does not kill the diviner. The suffering of a diviner only brings wealth. The troubles of a diviner will always have a happy ending. Ifa says in Osameji, that was Oshemeji. Ifa says in Osameji, it is in poverty that a child learns divination, that wealth comes. Ifa is saying so many powerful things in those two verses of Oshemeji and Osameji. It is through struggle. It is through getting outside yourself, getting outside your own way, and getting outside your comfort zone. That is how you will be blessed. That is how you will achieve your destiny. To attain your destiny, you gotta Do the thing that everybody else ain't doing. Your destiny is outside of the confines of your comfort zone. Sometimes we have to be shaken out of comfort. The more broken we are at times is the more closer we can get to Olodumare, the Irumole. They don't come to you when you are comfortable, when you are complaining, when you are complacent. They come when you're hungry. They come when you are in need. They come when you got some losses, when you're taking some L's. That's when Olodumare shows up. The trick is that Olodumare was always there, but that's when you realize what you really got. In the Odu Ifa, Ogbe Kaifa says, Ogbe, let us go home, offspring of Osin. Ogbe, let us go home, offspring of Ora. Ogbe, let us go home, the offspring of Ogun. Shrine spread across the home frontage. These Wifa's message to Lagaye in Ijesaland. He was advised to offer Ebo and be miserly with his Ebo. And he would do this in order to become blessed with all array of life, so that his Ebo would be accepted. He was advised to be miserly with his Ebo, so that his Ebo would meet with approval. He complied. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of joy. Come and witness all array of life. This is a very interesting Ifa verse, because Ifa is asking this person to offer Ebo miserly. What does that mean? In Ogbeka, if the Ebo is 2 he-goats, offer 1. If it's 3 hens, offer 1 hen. Because in this, Ifa is recognizing the dire situation and looking at the honesty and the purity of that person's heart. That this is what you had and you still offered that. It is the challenge. It is the step out. It is the admission of humility. Because in this moment, Olodumare runs to you to support you when you are seen as humble, when you are seen as having nothing, when you are seen as broken. In this sense, this is the place where you can meet God. Olodumare comes to mend you when you say, I don't know. Olodumare comes to mend you when you say, I am broken. Olodumare comes to support you when you say, I am not strong enough. The Irumole come close when you step out of that comfort zone. The Irumole come close to you when you do it a different kind of way. They can't heal you from afar. Come out of the thought processes and embrace the imperfections of yourself so that you can see yourself the way that Olodumare truly sees you. This leads me to the third and final point. Callings are disguised as disruptions. What does that mean? Many breakthroughs begin with discomfort. A job dries up. Your relationship collapses. Your circle shifts. A routine fails. A dream becomes deferred. That is all your Ori pushing you outside of your comfort zone and into your calling. What feels like a disturbance is often a divine redirection. Your safety is not salvation, and your ease is not obedience. When destiny calls, comfort must die. When we feel the tension, that's the call. If you feel the fear, that fear oftentimes is the doorway. If you feel the pull, that's your destiny speaking to you. Today, we choose purpose over preference. Today, let's choose obedience over ease. Let us choose calling over comfort. Everything that you are praying for is on the other side of what you keep postponing. Olodumare is not withholding destiny. Comfort is. Let's bury the excuses. We need to silence fear and answer the call. Comfort isn't an evil thing, but it's a terrible God to serve. Destiny demands movement, it demands growth, it demands sacrifice. And when you finally let comfort die, you don't lose yourself. You finally meet who you were created to actually be. So in closing, let's all affirm, may my comfort collapse. That's a hard one, y'all. That's a hard one. I'm living it. May your comfort collapse. And I'm living this. May your courage rise. May your destiny speak louder than your fear. I want to close with this statement. Ti yamu bodo pe. Let me say that again. Ti yamu bape etunu bodo ku. And what I'm saying is, when destiny calls, comfort must die. When destiny calls, comfort must die. So, as we begin this process, I want to thank everyone once again for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this Ifa Temple service. Thank you for being with us. I want to ask y'all to once again like and share, tell a friend. This coming February, we are starting a new cohort of our Omoawo program. So if you are interested, please tap in, please join us, give us a call. My number is 323-244-1133, and that is one of the ways that you can be involved in that, and also be involved in any of the temple processes. If you're interested in making any sort of donations, you can do so below. If you are interested in being a member of Idinka Ifa Temple, you are certainly welcome to. We offer membership and also Itarogun. Today, Sunday, is actually Itarogun, so we'll be casting Itarogun as well. So in terms of all of that, I want to thank you all for joining us once again. Excuse me. And I want to ask you all to think outside the box. All right? Hopefully every sermon during the month of January has assisted you to see yourselves differently, to move past fear, because the theme is moving out of your comfort zone and doing things differently from the way we usually do things, so that we can see a different kind of potent result. So that has been the essential theme of this month. In terms of that, I want to pray us into our destiny. Olodumare, we ask that you would support us. Please continue to ward off all death, ward off sickness, cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and our fights from us. Support us in the movement and the manifestation of our destiny. Help us to take responsibility for these moves that we're making, for the decisions that we're making, so that we can make moves and decisions that are in alignment with what we want to be aligned with. We thank you and we ask your divine grace and protection during this day. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboto. I want to thank you and I want to invite you to our temple service and our compound. We will see you next week. Aboru, Aboy.